Hello, Year 9s. So you've been looking at all the Year 9 option videos for GCSE subjects, and you finally come to GCSE Computer Science, and you're wondering what it can do for you. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you first about computer science. Computer science is a fantastic subject. I absolutely love it. It's the study of computers and computing at its base level. What we're really talking about is how to develop software and how to design and create computer systems and networks and all the stuff that goes into those three areas. But also, it's so much more. It's a maths type subject, but also it's an engineering type subject. So there's principles from both of those fields in there. But also, what it is, and what I love about computer science, it's an opportunity to give you a fresh perspective of the world and the processes in the world, the things that we do, the tasks, the activities, whether it's building a car, building a house, or maybe even just getting a mortgage, and automating those processes. In other words, making them automatic, building systems that can do that for us. Because sometimes calculations are quite complicated. Computer makes complicated calculations easy because they do it and you just get the results. So that's one thing that is really powerful, fundamentally amazing about computer science, is that you can use it to do lots of fantastic stuff in lots of different fields. And so the skills and knowledge that you learn in computer science, you can take to any field wherever you want in whatever subject and whatever career. Or you could just bank it and use it in the place that you want to use it. Or you could just be a software designer, software developer, computer systems architect, or a network architect. The choice is yours. Computer science doesn't limit you. It actually frees you to choose a wonderful range of subjects or careers. So what do we do in computer science? Well, you're working towards two papers. The first paper, paper one, looks at computer systems. The second paper, paper two, looks at programming. In paper one, we look at the components of a computer, the main components of a computer, which are the CPU, memory, and its storage. We look at how the CPU executes instructions and the process it goes through, which is pretty amazing. We look at how memory works with the CPU to help it process instructions. And we look at how we can extend memory into secondary storage so that we can have even more storage available so we can store way more data and instructions than we could if we just had the CPU and RAM. Then we look at how we represent data in those three areas using binary and how we can get binary to represent numbers, text, images, and sound. And when we run out of space, how we can make it a little bit smaller so that it can all fit into the space that we've got. Then we look at how we connect computers together to create networks and how that all works, the infrastructure we need and the medium that we need and the devices that we need as well. And then we look at how we can secure those systems using software and even our own ways of behaving. And finally, we look at the impact of computer usage on the world from two perspectives, the negatives and the positives. That's paper one. That's quite chunky, but it gives you a nice world view of not only what happens inside the computer, as we model real world models, as I said before, but also how it's being used in various applications and the impact of that upon the way that we live, work, and play. In paper two, we look at computational thinking. Computational thinking is a problem solving technique in computer science that covers four areas: algorithmic thinking, making algorithms; pattern recognition, recognizing the solutions that we've seen in other problems and using it to solve our current problem; decomposition, taking a large problem, break it down into smaller pieces so it's easy to solve; then abstraction, removing the unnecessary parts of a problem so we solve the bits that actually make sense to solve. Then there's programming, turning those algorithms into a language that the computer can understand; software design, which is designing software that isn't just really good at what it does, but works well, can be evaluated well, and can be maintained if it needs to be fixed when problems arise; and then logic, that how the computer actually solves the problems that it does in terms of not just what the CPU does, but thinking about how we turn those zeros and ones into logical decisions. And finally, program translation, how we turn our human language that we write computer programs in, Python, C Sharp, Ada, into a program language or program code that the computer actually understands. So that's paper one and that's paper two. When you're doing paper two, you'll do lots of programming. You'll do a programming project that will help you to put together a massive program that you can use wherever you want to. Like I said before, computer science doesn't narrow you down, it opens up opportunities. And what we want you to do is when you finish GCSE computer science is have a wonderful set of skills that now gives you the opportunity to choose what you do next. You don't have to want to be a programmer or a network administrator to do computer science. You might just want to improve the way that you solve problems, and computer science is perfect for doing that. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and consider computer science. It's up to you what you do next, really is. But if you've got any more questions, you can either talk to myself, Miss Bachu, and we're happy to answer your questions about computer science. We love computer science. We'll be happy to teach you in year 10.